You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. So I'm laughing because to me it's just like the camera is on and you seem not to be focused. Are we getting some members in the family yet, or you guys are still eating? Like Amos was just caught on his dinner and he said he'll be joining us any minute from now. But I can't wait. I can't just wait to go live because there's just too much in my stomach that I have to share with us. So please connect, and invite everyone to come into the family meeting today, because today, we're going to do what we call Kongosa. 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 Kongosa, I mean, people say it's a gossip, if you want to say it in a very clear term. And then some people say it's a conspiracy theory, right? I mean, in this atmosphere where we are, it is about conspiracy theory. But with us in the village, we say it's Kongosa. In the townships or in the cities, they say it's gossips. But in the political world, like I said, in the systematic language, they call it conspiracy. So there's a lot. There's some key points that we have to chew today. And we have to break it. We have to grind it. Like we say, we're going to grind it on a pepper stone. So I hope all of you are connecting. You're connecting. Please join. If you're joining, make sure you click and share and invite one another, because this Kongosa that we're going to break here today is a sweet one. And you can imagine, I never have come like this and say we want to gossip or we want to Kongosa. But this one, nah, we have to match it up. We have to match it up. And I can't wait to see you guys connecting today. Because it's happening. The feedbacks are so big. And we've been saying it. Most of the time we sit here and just like, oh, what are we doing? Are we wasting our time? Are they even listening? Are the listeners paying? Are the leaders paying attention? What are the young people doing? Are they loud enough? But now we begin to see some what others call conspiracy theories, what we call Kongosa stories. And so we want to share these stories. Definitely you are also part of it, because all this the gossip stories, and we're going to be getting it every series now. I ignore some of those things when they circulate, and and we're like, okay, we have to do our own research. So Nature has to go to work to make sure that they prove every, we get press release out there, publications, go into the net, ask questions, throw back, research questions to journalists out there or to key people in the sectors. If it's coming from the government, then we make sure we get someone actually that is attached to the government to give us some of these stories or to confirm them. Before you see, when we say we're breaking something on the Pan-African Daily TV family, then actually we have gone into it to do our own research. But now we just say, no. It's coming so fast that we don't even have the time again to be doing those research. So we're going to be throwing what we call the Kongosa series on the Pan-African Daily TV. You call it, like I said, it's a 3-word thing. If you don't understand what Kongosa is in a village setup, then you can understand it like a gossip, gossiping. And if you don't, then that, like I said, some people call it's a conspiracy theory. So anyhow, how it is, it's in this context that we're going to be breaking. Even before we get our guests, we see that most of the guests, they come, we share their passion. If it's about talking, we never could, even 5 hours, we're not done with any conversation here. So, but we're going to spend the first 30 minutes or 20 minutes, or in between the conversations, bringing out things that are trending what we call gossips. I hear that you said that, and somebody said that, and you know, and the whole thing. But you know why this Congo Sat series is very important? It is very important because in the village we said there's no smoke without fire. No, 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 no. There's no smoke without fire. So even if it's a gossip or it's a lie, it's a conspiracy theory, but there's something that is happening out there that is putting out these narratives, right? And so we cannot begin to ignore them, particularly when it's a narrative that works for us, because that's what we anticipate, that's what we wish for, right? So yes, we're gonna break this gossiping or this Congo series. We're starting it right tonight because, like we say, when your stomach is full or your heart is full, your mouth has to speak, and mine is just so full. So this is what I want us to gossip about today, or this is where we're starting the Congo series today. Are you guys okay? Are you guys feeling all right where you are? Do you feel the same? Do you feel something around you? If you haven't noticed anything, if you haven't had a feeling for something, then watch out. Watch out, because a lot of things are going around, and this things that we're gonna be picking and putting it together. If you missed it, if you are not connected, if you never heard it, it's our gossip series, what we call the Congo Sa Talk Talk. Call it the Talk Talk, the Talk Talk series. Because, like I said, there's no smoke without fire. So, first thing, this one is not going to be a gossip. This is a feedback of what was supposed to happen yesterday with the coronation, me going to get my crown. You heard Queen Ningone, her Majesty, the Queen of the Gabon Kingdoms in West Africa, actually said it on December 12th when we were sharing this conversation about this day, where she said, she's going to be honoring us, or honoring me, with a crown. I mean, what is a crown actually? It's an honor for recognition of our work, our engagement in everything that we've been doing, connecting ourselves and building up this unity and this strong, powerful family. So that's actually what she had anticipated that we do yesterday. Now, guess what? And exactly everything, because it takes a process. I never even knew. I just used to think when we hear there's a coronation or crowning, it's a simple thing that people just hang out together, and then the way you something on your head. um but I didn't actually know that it has some steps, right? There's some calories that are going to be spelled in the feminine principle and the energy. Then there's some quote, some oath that I have to go through, and that process takes 3 days. We didn't even know. And thirdly, the medium with which we're communicating, these are no spirituality mediums. And so when the queen cast some calories, and it was just not the time, and so we couldn't proceed with that coronation yesterday. She has to wait to hear from the ancestors before we take that on. And probably she's saying maybe, to usually get an answer 2 or 3 days, and then she would proceed. And so we could do it if we are actually on time on Saturday. That's the issue. All right. So in 2 days, if that would be the case. If not, then we will continue. Maybe we're just still not doing enough. And our ancestors are saying, a crown for what? We still have a nation to build. We still have we still haven't reached out to brothers in Nicaragua and all those places in Brazil. Hey, luckily, we're going to have a voice from Brazil next week on the show. And so we're still not there. So why are you taking a crown for? What have you done? To get a crown. But that's just what, when all the things were not working, the medium was not working, we couldn't even go live, everything was just not working. And then and she was like, yes, okay, she understand why and stuff like that. But I just understood it. For me, to be honest with you, it was an honor to say, all right, I respect your call, but we are not there. We just don't deserve any crown now. For nothing, for nothing. We're still not there. We still have just too much. We haven't even started. We're still yelling and calling and sounding the trumpets. Not even everyone is listening. Not even the conscious one. Most people are still just out of context. And what are they doing? They're spilling some gossips that, the family and all those that don't have anything to do. we the ones that really are not serious, not professional. We lack things to do. So that's why we sit here and pack every evening. So we're still not there. Means we still have a lot of work to do. So before we begin to prepare, and our ancestors will bless us and honor us, they want to first of all see what we're doing. It's not enough just to sit here and we say we have work on the ground to do. Just a lot of work. Our young people. Amos is here connecting from Nairobi, Kenya. He's gonna be telling us a lot of challenges and a lot of things that we still even haven't started. Haven't started, and we want to wear crowns. Anyways, maybe they can give us, even if they give us, even if they open the medium, I still think that it would just be like, all right, let's pamper you. But remember that he who wears the crown knows the weight of it, knows the responsibility. And if you're taking this oath never to betray your own people, to betray your forefathers, then you understand what that is, right? But then I really found the process very interesting. And I would like us, even before that the queen would come again and we would explain what also gave me a kind of a recollection of my childhood memories when I used to see, particularly in the oath that our forefathers did, royal oath. What was that? And we didn't even know. And today, oh, because of the new system, of the Western system, we're so hijacked into this court shape, going to court or doing this. No. In our ancestral, in our cultural and indigenous way, you go to the royal palace when you make a mistake or something is done and you have to take an oath, swear, then you know the consequences. There's not going to be something like I have to hire me a lawyer and stuff like that. That's why we're just so good on the journey that we are on, because a lot of all these things are going to reveal themselves. And that's when the principles of Ma'at are taken back, are rising again. The vapor, the energies are rising to say, yes, now is judgment time, truth. And everyone is going to be held accountable, not as a family, people, individually. Okay. Right. I think our guest is already here. Amos is here. I will continue to break the gossip. Like I said, this first one was just a feedback. I'll repeat it again for those that will be joining later. But then what I want to converse about after the conversation or in between the conversation with Amos is, we've been getting a feedback. We've been talking about Ethiopia, but we're just hearing some very sweet news out there, how the African Union is reacting to this issue concerning Ethiopia and sanctions from the West, or global sanctions against Ethiopia. What is Africa's Union position on this? This is one of the gossips I would really like us to break, because this one is what we say we have to chew for the first time. Something might be working right. Good. So another gossip that I would like us, it's not really a gossip. I saw this communique from Ghana talking about the regulations, how you, before you enter Ghana, and that was from the 12th midnight. December 12th midnight, which was, but we want to chew that down so that we know that people are on the same level of understanding to this. And particularly because we know a lot of people travel to Ghana. So you pay attention to that before you think of traveling. Good. Then another Congo story that we're going to break here tonight is, we've been hearing, we saw rioting, the Mali, Burkina Faso youth standing up to the French, to resist the French troops in their territory and say they must pack and leave. They've been there for a long time. We don't really know what was actually even going out there, what business they actually had there. But there's some gossips coming out of there that they just packing and leaving. Is that true? We want to find out that story. So you see, these are the kind of feedbacks that I said today. Today is the day that we'll be gossiping. And then you must have already heard or listened or watched this video, this TikTok video from our brother and the Diaspora News, who actually gave us some of these sanctions that Britain was trying to impose, on African countries, travel bans and stuff like that. And the reaction of Nigeria, you'll be watching that short video from our brother. You see, so we're going. That's how we're going to be picking all these gossips, and we put the short. All of you that are doing these TikToks, please continue to do the talk videos and give it to us. We'll be sharing and throwing out there as a research for everyone to follow up on this break-ins, whether they are true, whether they're conspiracy theories. We consider it gossip, and we say no smoke without fire. Good. So I get back to the studio. I hope all of us are comfortable sitting now because we want to we want to get a feedback from one of the most vibrant youths, young people that I've got to know now for close to a year and a half, Amos, Mr. Amos Onyango, a very vibrant one that has been really silent most of the time because he's been working on the ground, but a lot of people know his job and his engagement and what he has done. Now, Amos has been a prominent figure, as what I can say, particularly by the uprisings. Not only has he won the African Youth Award 2021 for the continent, but he also was representing on the media conference organized in Germany last month, and he was representing the youth of the continent and giving perspective on the challenges and the way they move the work for they're moving their work forward. You know, this audience actually was typically European audience, and Germany in particular, youth activists, media, content creators, and all that, which I happen to have moderated the session with that. But you know what? What actually brought me back to hold on Amos on this conversation was the key things that he mentioned there. I mean, I really in that symposium, I sat and I was like, wow. Even though I work with him, even though I know him, even though he's one of the biggest supporters and supporting our engagement and our work, he had been with the PL Lumumba Foundation as a project manager. Now he created his own a company called Loic Afrique, you know, since last year, and he's empowering young people to create beautiful fabrics from Africa worldwide, which you can order, you know, and you get it at the, you know, he takes it, you know, the type of Mandela shirt, you know, Amos is coming out to actually begin to dress Africans. And this is exactly what he said at the media conference, like, you know, we are sick and tired of us always looking different in our skin. So I decide to change my generation by properly dressing up the African of the tomorrow. So we want to welcome Amos today. That's a lot that he will have to share with us. He wants to talk about feedback on how the youths have been evolving during this wake up, and also the challenges that the youths are facing, and how is it that all of us can come together to empower the youths, because he's a youth activist and he knows, actually he's been, you know, working with Osman Toure, introducing him on some projects that they were doing at the PLO Lumumba Foundation. So Amos is really the ground person, the voice of the youths out there, and a very eloquent and smart one. He's also an author. I think he's authored 3 books. He's going to share this with us here, you know, about cyber wars, crimes and stuff like that. Very energetic. But nonetheless, before I give him the audience, Amos is also, even though very busy trying to round up with his master's program, he would also tell us what this master's program is all about and how is it going to help him on his journey to building the Africa that we want. So Amos, you are welcome. Have you finished eating?
Yes, of course.
So what did you eat? Ugali or what?
Yeah, I took some, I don't know how you call them there, but it's called skuma wiki here in Kenya, with
Skuma
some
wiki.
meat. Yeah.
What is that? How do you how is it? It's a
That
mixture of
green veggies, it's
vegetables or
called
what?
kales. I think you call it kales, eh? Kales.
Scales?
Yeah, kales, kales. Kales.
Kelly's. Yeah, what is that? Are they grains or vegetables
Yeah,
or what?
green vegetables, eh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
how did
So
you cook it? I mean,
it was,
I'm
it
already
was,
getting a mouthy.
it was made for me.
Amos, what is it that you will not do? I think next time that we'll be having you here, we're gonna be talking about a cook show, because you are you're all the Browns.
Thank
Okay,
you.
tell me, how is Kenya Nairobi federating? What is, I mean, just the collective of everything happening around you, your studies, the continent, and how is things in Nairobi, Kenya, and Africa?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Susan, for your time and Thank you for this show. Actually, before even I go to the question that you have just asked, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for the good work you are doing to this continent, especially to we young people who are upcoming. You are showing us the right way to go, and you are inspiring more young people to appreciate being an African. It's not easy to run this kind of show, and I believe Africans who are of goodwill will be able to see the good thing that you are doing, and they may come in and support such initiative because Africa needs men and women who have such ideology that can change the continent like you. And social media is very powerful, and I'm very happy that you have even come up with a new platform where we young people can interact and share more compared to the one that the Westerns have developed. So I think that is a very good encouraging to we young generation, and I think young people who are listening and watching this conversation, is your time to come in and support what Susan Tata is doing. Dr. Susan Tata is doing. It doesn't need to be money. It can be in kind in terms of IT support and all that. That is how we can make Africa great than those other continents. Now back to Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, Kenya is good, and I want to take this opportunity also to thank the PLO Lumumba Foundation. I resigned 2 months ago, but I want to say that the impact that I got from the PLO Lumumba Foundation is overwhelming. The mentorship that I got, the networks that I got, I can't take it for granted. So I want to take this opportunity to pass also my thank you to the entire PLO Lumumba Foundation, the 38 Africa country representative, for the good work they've been doing in terms of supporting the ideology. And I believe that Africa needs such young people who are ready to take Africa to the next level. Because when I was in the PLO Lumumba Foundation, those young people are very great. They have very brilliant ideas. Some of them are doing great things with little resources, with little funding, but they're making impact. As Mother Teresa once said, you don't need to feed many, just feed one and you'll make an impact in the society. So I want to say thank you to the entire team of the PLO Lumumba Foundation, the partners, for the good work they've been doing to support the initiatives of the PLO Lumumba Foundation. And I also want to say that PLO Lumumba Foundation is mentoring people, and I know many people will want to know, why did you leave? And I like quoting what Professor Pielo Lumumba normally says, that no matter how good dancer you are, you must learn when to leave the stage. So there was a time that I had to leave the stage, and I had to leave the stage also to mentor other young people, being that I've also been mentored. So what am I going to do with the mentorship? Am I just going to sit there and just being a manager, a PA for the entire of my life? No. We need to make impact to other people. We need to share what you have learned. We need to leave the stage for others to the foundation so that they can also learn what I also gathered. So that is why I decided to take this bold step. And beside that, in terms of my academics, I'm currently taking a master's in ethics and organization leadership. I think the reason why I'm doing that, pardon, I just forgot to mention where I take it. I am taking Master of Ethics and Organization Leadership at Tangaza University. Tangaza University is a constituent of Catholic University, East Africa Catholic University of East Africa. So it's the only university that is offering the course in Eastern Africa for now. So the reason why I took the course is Africa has very good leaders. Africa has potential leaders, but Africa only lack one thing in these amazing leaders. So many amazing leaders across the entire continent. And what they lack is integrity. And what they lack is how they can manage their daily duties, how they can manage their finance. Because what is killing Africa, apart from unity, apart from love, is greed. We are too greedy to the extent that we want to even hide money outside our continent while other people are dying of hunger and poverty. We are too greedy to ourselves to the extent that our next neighbor is dying of a sickness. And we have ambulances, we have cars, many of them, that we can't use to assist our next neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
We are dying in Africa because of integrity. Lack of integrity is not there. We have selfish leaders who they know what they're supposed to do, but they don't do it. What is the sense, Dr. Susan, of having 100 cars, or let me say, five cars in your place, and your neighbor maybe is sick and you can't offer one car to assist the neighbor? How do you make that impact the society? And this takes me back to the Indians, because Indians are very interesting, and I think you have interacted with so many of them. Indians are very disciplined. You find Indians living together and they support one another. One car can serve the entire Indians in a particular town. If you don't know, I've interacted with some of them and I normally see. But in Africa, if you have a car, it is your own. So the reason why I'm bringing this aspect is because we have too much, but we don't use this too much. We can only drive one car at a time. You can only sleep in one house at a time. And you can only eat one food at a time. No matter how much food you store in your fridge, you can only eat one at a time. You don't have so many mouths. You can just take one at a time. So integrity is lacking in our government. Integrity is lacking in our institution. Integrity is lacking anywhere. Even how you handle our small budget, our small things, how do we account for them? In a day, if you spend some, let me say some $100 or some $50, how do I account for that particular money? What have you done with it? Has it made an impact to somebody? So that is why I'm studying integrity. That's why I'm studying ethics. That's why I'm studying organization leadership, because Africa has good leaders who pretend to be leaders, but they are misleaders, as one speaker once said. And the only way we can do away with the misleaders is for them to know how they can manage themselves. So Africa lacks good managers with good integrity that can take it to the next step. Other than academics, now we have COVID-19 still going on. And now in Kenya, there was a new outbreak of a new virus which was affecting the southern Africa. And yet, these are the things that we young generation can find solutions to. But what happens in Africa is that we are too much of Western. I'm not blaming the West, actually. We are learning a lot from the West. And I love so much learning from the Chinese and the South Koreans, because they know what they want. We Africa, we know what we want, but we are still not confident with what we want. We know what we want, but we are still enemies of our own. We don't support one another. We don't promote one another. That is what we lack in Africa. And that's why you find that there is new virus and all we think of is getting vaccine from Western countries. All we think of is getting AstraZeneca, getting Moderna, getting all those vaccines, Johnson and Johnson. Why don't we have Africa vaccine and also generate some income for Africa? Almost Africa has the best hubs that can make this kind of medicine. But look at our pharmaceutical industry in Africa. They are relying, all of them, almost all of them are relying from the donation from the West. So not unless we think on how we can support young people who has these good ideas that can take Africa to the next level, we'll still be in the poverty. Other than that, I'm into business also. We are doing business now. We have Christmas going on, and there are a few plans. As I told you, I'm passionate about Africa. What you can see is a product of what we make. This is just a hood, you can see, but it's made by us. So we are making African products here at Lawi Africa. And one of the things we are doing is we are also promoting talents. Those who are talented in making such things, we have a foundation that trains them in how to make such things. So currently our foundation and our company is busy, and not just busy in terms of making money, but busy making impact to the community. And that's what makes me happy. Yes. In a nutshell.
In a nutshell. I mean, what you're just saying is, if I don't produce it, I don't wear it, isn't it?
Yes. So Susan, I think Africans who are listening must take this serious. You cannot go to a shop and you buy products worth large sum of money and you don't support the local industry. We have even our MPs, our members of parliament, our presidents, our heads, our prime minister, our heads of state, our parastatal leaders, corporate leaders, who are still importing their outfit from Western countries. Yet Africa has the best industry in terms of making this outfit. So we must begin to promote local industry. And promoting local industry does not just mean you just wear it to please people. Wear these clothes and feel proud of them, that you're an African. Just the same way the Chinese wear their Chinese suits and Chinese clothes, and they feel proud of being a Chinese. So why are we not proud of our own products? Why are we promoting? I'm not saying buying from the Western is not good, but why are we promoting other? We are promoting other brands, and we are leaving our own brands. And when it comes to politics, we want to pretend to people that now we are putting on an African cloth and we are promoting local industry. It is rubbish. We should not do that. We should not do something to please other people. We should do something because we feel that we are building our own continent. We are promoting our own continent. We are supporting innovation. We are supporting creativity. We are supporting fashion of our own country, our own village. The moment we'll begin to even having African suit in parliament, African suit in suits in official meetings, that is the day that Africa will rise in terms of fashion. But as per now, there are few presidents who are trying, but they're still mixing. Tell me which countries which are allowed to put on full African attire in their parliament.
Nigeria?
If there is few. Nigeria is trying. If there is the Western countries are trying, a bit trying, but you come to East Africa, they are suit all over, and they import daily. I'm very much happy with our current president is trying. I can see once a while we can put on some African brand. So we must begin to love Africa. Be passionate about Africa. Feel proud that you are putting on an African outfit. Support African ideology. Support Africa talents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely correct. Amos, you're just on point. Like, the moment we would really, you say it, and I just envisage the 1.4 billion and the diaspora really in some of these mud clothes that we get from Egypt, or even from Ndop. We call them the Ndop clothes, from where I come from, where they actually weave it, and you can see the stories on it. You see our stories. Everything is communication on those mud clothes. Even though we have the Chinese made kind of stuff now, we should even not just get that one. So you're very, very right. One thing that I want to touch on, during the media awareness campaign, why did this organization in Germany pick you to represent the youth of Africa on that?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Susan. I think the reason why they picked me out of so many millions of young people in Africa is because they were looking for an inspiration. And at the age of 27, I've resigned from my job. And at the age of 27, I'm having a company and I'm having a foundation, which
And you've
both,
authored 3 books.
and I've authored 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one is on the way, which I'll tell you soon. The first one is called Twists and Turns, which just inspire young people uh, to appreciate where they came from and their disabilities, their challenges in life should not hinder them to achieving what they want. The second one is about cybercrime. Cybercrime rate is now at highest level, and majority of people who are victim are young people. So all my books are talking about young people. The other one is about it's called Trap in Waithood. It talks
Mm-hmm.
about young people where the older generation, like what is happening in Uganda, keeps on telling young people that we need to wait. You need to wait. So for how long will young people wait? Yet they have very good ideas on how they can take this continent to the next level. So the book is just talking about young people to come out, and no one should tell them that they are leaders of tomorrow. No one should tell them that they should wait for terms to end. Young people can compete just the same way, in the same level with the older generation, so that we can have a mixture of ideas in parliament, a mixture of idea in a government that support innovation, that supports the ideologies of young people. And where you see young people, there is progress. And you see Africa, the entire Africa country is the youngest, and it has the youngest, its youngest population are the youth. And what happens when your highest percentage is youth? There is growth if they are involved, but provided the young people are not involved in the development of the economy, then the economy will shrink. So the book just tries to inspire the young people to come out and speak. But never mind, there are people who are just there to discourage you. And I'm also not afraid to say that we have older generation that pretends so much to support young people, yet they don't support young people. So we need to have an Africa that preaches what it says. That is the time we'll change this continent. But the moment if you see a young people growing, you say he cannot be a president. You see a young person starting a business, you want to frustrate this young person. You see a young person want to vie for a member of parliament, you block them. You start saying they are not qualified. So and this goes to the older generation. And just as somebody once said, youthful is not a permanent situation. The same way I can say you being old is not a permanent situation. What will matter in this world is when you live, what are you living with? Which legacy are you leaving? Don't live with a bad legacy of you want to die in power. Don't live with a bad legacy. You pretend, but you don't do exactly what is supposed to be done. So the older generation must inspire younger generation, because I mean, eventually we shall all die. Nature will take its own course, but what are we leaving behind? Yes.
I like that topic. I like it because if you look even from our own traditions, it is difficult that the elder people leave the platform for the young people. I mean, we understand. I'm saying even going back to the traditional circle, not only the political one. I mean, we know about parents until they die. Some of them you have to go to the sangomas to know their will. What was written in their will, and so it's like the rite of passation, like we actually would say it's not really functioning between us. Is it that the young, even though our elders say I'm working for the future of my children, but to hand that authority to the children, it could be a problem. And even when they hand it, they put conditions to it. Is it correct?
It is true. It is true. It is true, Susan. And I think, can you hear me? I think.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yeah,
Go
it
on.
is true. And what I want to say, Dr. Susan, this is something even which will implies to me. Now that I started a company, I'll not live with it. There are people who will have it. There are younger generation which is coming. We must move out from this idea of personalizing things. We must move out of it. Look at the initiative you are running. It is a Pan-African thing. It has a neutral name. The moment we personalize things, that it is mine, then we don't grow. Let's take it as we, because anything that supports the society is supposed to belong to the society, not you. But the moment we personalize our projects, the moment we personalize our organizations, then when we die, what happens? It's dead. So we must build a generation that will be there even when we are gone. I will be much happy if the current people we are mentoring in our company and in our foundation are going to open more foundation for others to learn what they have learned. I'll not feel jealous about it. But what happened in Africa is jealousy everywhere. You see a young person rising, you pin them down. You even assassinate them. Young people are really working very hard, Dr. Susan. I can assure you. You look at the situation in Uganda. Look at the situation in Cameroon. Look at the situation in Nigeria. Young people are coming out, but what's happening? Some of them are being kidnapped. Some of them are being raped. Because there are people who don't want young people to grow. So to all leaders who are listening there, I know youthful is not a permanent situation or permanent state, but let's involve young people in our projects. Let's involve them in our government. Let's involve them in our negotiations. Let's involve them in our tendering processes. But if we don't do this, and I'm talking this because we were just talking with my brother just the other day, my brother Osman Ture, and the situation is the same in the Gambia. The situation is the same in Rwanda. The situation is the same everywhere. You tell me in South Korea now, a South Korean graduate now, let's say, for example, a first year, for example, is able to make this gadget we are using, this laptop we are using to communicate today. But what happens in Africa? They even get funding to provide such laptops, but they end up giving them to their families. And some of them, instead of supporting the education system in Kenya, some of them, their siblings are not even in Africa. They are studying abroad. Then we want to convince people that we stand for integrity. Then we want to convince people that we are good leaders. No, Africa, we must wake up, leaders. We must, the reason why, I'm not saying that there's no corruption in West, there is corruption. I'm not saying that the West are perfect, they are not perfect. The difference they have is that they do things the way they are supposed to be done. In Africa, we do things individually because it is going to benefit me. That individualization we must kick out of Africa.
I think I just want to step in, like you said, for the West. the, the the one thing that we would have to understand is that African youths are too passive. The European youths, no. We've been brought in a system as if we're always silent. We misunderstand respect and integrity, I think, in everything. So a young person cannot even voice up an opinion. It is disrespect. We misunderstand everything. You know, if you question, you never, and this is a debate that we're really going to hold on, because what we want young people to, you have to understand that you are at war with your own parents. And the more you cease the fight to make the Africa, because at the end of the day, we're going. You're talking, even me, I'm in a middle-aged woman. And I tell the young people, hold me accountable. Why are you scared of me? You shouldn't be afraid of us. Because as a matter of fact, it has proven and it is showing that we're not only fighting imperialism or orders that we say, but even the fight start from our own. The inability. Look at the leadership on the continent. Tell me the youngest leader. The youngest leader, I think, is the president of Madagascar. He should be 46, 47, right? That's the youngest. All. And then you begin to ask, what kind of Africa? You want to die there, and you die there, you pass it even over to the next. It's greediness, like you say. So, but to be honest with you, everybody can be greedy until you fight, until you take it. The European youth don't take it easy. No. You don't even tell them what they have to, if it has to do with integrity. You understand? We're not talking about misunderstanding between respect and not. If you don't even allow your children question just to know, to ask from childhood in the house, you ask your father, where are you going to? It's like, are you policing me? Where do you even have the nerves to ask? You don't ask questions. And most of the question asking is the fact that you ask to learn. It has nothing to do with disrespect, right? So there's no communication. The gap between the elders and the youth, I don't even think we're meeting in any middle point. So that is also a challenge. Do you see that way?
It is true, Dr. Susan Tata. But also, what I wanted to say, it's very true what you have said. My point is also in that even when the young people are fighting their way upwards, let them not forget the wisdom of the old people. You know, the problem also with the young people is that some of them are too ambitious to the extent they feel that they are better than the older generation. There is one local saying that says that old is still wise, no matter how old it is. So we must learn from them. I'm not saying that the older generation is bad. We must learn from them. But
no, Amos, let's get this straight. This is another conversation, absolutely. We're not here to compare. We are here to talk about, look at the leadership and tell me what young people, let's stay on this. Let's not mix it. Let's not try to compromise. Okay, we're saying that's a conversation for another day, to talk about whether we learn from them. But we're talking about the right of passation. The young people, imagine if you are the leaders that you're sitting there, and you're elderly leaders, and have not 67 on when you are sitting in offices. So what are you doing for the generation? Tell me the lessons you want to learn.
Pardon, I think I lost you there.
I said, if we're talking in terms of political leaderships, like you said, if you look at the leadership and you look at the younger generation, even in their cabinets, it's a whole, I mean, even the technology is difficult for them to even handle. And the young people pick these things and run with. So why is they not working together? Why? Do you feel the elderly feel challenged?
There is a gap in the elderly because they don't want to give opportunity for the young people to show them these things. You saw what happened in South Africa. I will not mention, but it was very interesting that there are some leaders who cannot even operate their iPad, who cannot even log into a Zoom meeting. So it's is quite interesting. So our generation has a responsibility to now come in and teach the older generation, and that's why it will be my happiness as Amos. I'm talking on a personal capacity now, to see that the older generation give platform to young people to also learn a bit. We know that they have some wisdom, but also give us chance to teach you the wisdom we also have. That is how we can grow together. Mm.
I think we have, so you see, if we come back on the other way around, you see also
Mm.
the responsibilities that you're doing, but also there are a lot of young people that are just lazy. Let's face fact. A lot of young people, like you said, they're too over ambitious. They're not even focused on the continent. They're living in the continent, but they just out. Most of them also just want to kill their elders and just be there and do the same thing. What is it that you think the elders should be trusting you?
That's a very interesting one. It is true, and part of the reason why we have a problem with our younger generation, it's called the tech generation. The tech generation want things to be very quick. They want to be in a social media, talk here at the same time, make money online very fast, drive a Benz very fast. So that is the aspect that the my generation is having.
Mhm.
So handling a tech generation, and Dr. Susan, you know this very well, is not an easy thing. It calls for a lot of understanding. And one thing that I want to say is that what young people are lacking is how it's called the misplacement of priority. They prioritize things that should not be a priority in their life. So once you prioritize things that don't matter into your life, like gossips, because Susan, you can agree with me. How many young people, how many South Koreans young people are now busy in the lab as we talk now, trying to come up with so many innovation that can support their country. So many, and they're getting the support from the elderly. But is it happening in Africa? It is happening, but the only problem we have in Africa is that some of our young people are not ready to learn. They are not ready to listen. So the moment they are not listening from what they are expected to listen to, then they have this pride in them that they can do it. They can make money through betting. They can make money through all those other means. So which is misguided. So what I can say in I know many people have opinions, but on my side, what I think here my fellow young people need to do is to place their priority right. Set your goals, your plan. What do you want to achieve in a day? What do you want to achieve in a month? Because I understand social media is everything, but so many of our young people, they spend too much time in social media. And part of their time that they spend, they are not doing constructive things. Maybe they're just chatting, they are gossiping, they are throwing hate speech. Those are the things we need to avoid. The moment we will start knowing our priorities right, that is the time the governments and this elder generation will feel the pressure that now is the time for young people to take this thing. But if we are still behaving childish, they will not leave the stage, because how do you leave stage for a child? How will you govern the country? So we must be mature in terms of what we want to achieve.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's correct. I think, you see, when we speak like this and we're trying to look from both sides and from different perspective, you really can see that we are in some kind of a turmoil, a mishmash. We have the young
Mm.
people that are vibrant, they are super talented, they're intelligent. And of course, every young person is aspiring to be something in life. Then we have the elders that have the power in their hands, and somehow things don't seem to work. Then you have the West that is a whole total distraction, right? And so it's like the center is not holding, it's not feeding. But now, for us to solve all these things, put everything where it belongs, what do you think is going to take us? And what should we be doing? Apart from just, yes, saying set priorities is easy to say. But if you have to set priorities, young people now, most of them get into marriage, they impregnate girls, they have young children also coming, they become even fathers as children. and they have to take care of their daily lives. Job is not coming. Most of them are graduates that have dropped out from schools that they invested and their parents invested, hoping that they will get jobs. Now, no jobs, and they're just there. What would happen? Pick a book and read.
I think not picking a book and reading will not be just a solution. But I think now we need to move from too much of these talks, but and do the exact thing what is required. Like now, the other day I saw what you are doing, which was very quite impressive in terms of calling young innovators to come and support activities, come and volunteer in such things. The moment they volunteer in supporting such kind of initiative, that is how opportunities are built. That is how you build your village. These things don't come easily. You cannot be seated there. You say, "I'm a graduate. I'm a graduate. I got first class," and you just expect to be employed. No, you must grab these things, as you said, Dr. Susan Tata previously. These things are not just a matter of just talking and not doing. Go for it. If you are passionate about something, sweep even road to get what you want. But if you are seated there that, oh, I got this and I'm expecting to be employed and paid more than $1,000 in a month, no, it will not come easy. We must now stop too much talks and get ourselves in things that can make impact. And it doesn't have to be an employment. You can be your own, um, you can employ yourself, or you can start initiative that can employ even many people. And this takes us back to the issue of collaboration. We must support one another. We must collaborate. The problem with Africa, as I said before, and young people, they come up with so many ideas, but they end up that they don't work together with another party. There is no need of me starting a company, trying to struggle to market it, and then there is somebody outside there who can help you in marketing that company. So we must not create so many companies, so many organizations. We can have what is called synergies. We work together, we collaborate, we partner. What Susan Tata is doing, how can I help support this? What Amos is doing, how can I help? What somebody in Nigeria is doing, how can we work together? What skills can you add? That is how we can build Africa. And that is how we can unite Africa. And even we have even a single currency. We can even have a single army. But if we just do things there, we don't support one another, we create so many organizations, and then at the end of the day, these organizations that are just used for individual benefit, then we will not grow. That's my opinion from my side.
You're very correct. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. Cheryl Penny is, you're just always saying it, just don't talk, but just do it. Each time she is here asking people to donate to every initiatives that we're starting. But you made a point, and we have to focus, but we have to walk in the same direction. Now, I said it last year that I need a 1 million, not finance, of youths that are ready to work for the continent, and we're going to liberate Africa. Just work. And we're already setting that structure. We need youths. I already said it, the margin is 3 to 500. And we want to make sure that in the next 3 years, 2026, 2027, we should be able to create at least 1 million jobs for young people. But creating young jobs, because when we hear about employment, young people just think, oh, I don't have the money to just say I have a company, then I employ 1 million people. No, that is a false narrative. We have to come together and build that basis and create that job for ourselves and create for the others. That's what every economy does. There's no economy that just fashion jobs and put somewhere. If you hear Europe talking about, oh, their job unemployment rate, you know what? 60%, let me not exaggerate, 20, 30% of those jobs are jobs that they pay a $1, but they already call it unemployment. It's less, right? So But we are coming up with this United Kingdoms of Great Africa, the Africa we want global, to say that young people should bring their talent. Not only young people, even the elderly. Now we are locked down in a COVID. Most people have lost their job and we keep complaining all the time. What if we gather together and create those jobs for ourselves? And I told
Mm,
everybody, we have to all start and volunteer.
mm,
Africa, you must volunteer. Young people, you must volunteer to build a foundation and then you earn a job. When we start by volunteering, 12 months, you work for free. The 13th month, you become a boss. That
mm,
it can never go differently. It has to happen like that. And we will
mm,
make sure that it happens like that. And I'm very happy. The other day, I was just saying it. We've not even launched it out because the homepage, we're throwing it out tomorrow, is going to go live. People can go in and sign in their organizations and groups and private supporters, corporations, and everything. Just put your registration on it. We
mm,
will train you for 1 year, and then you would be on the job. And in every corners of Africa, we can do it. You see my team here. You see the Cheryl, the Obama, the Lingolinga, all those that are watching here, Sanova, African Spirit, Paul Brown, El Haji, King of Kampala, all the youth. You see, this one is just the ones here, and the other ones are new, Amos. I'm not joking. We have to take South African has to volunteer. We all have to pull back. Now, if you are working, yes, you can get a work, but you have to do at the Africa One Global. You must do
mm,
it. Whether you have a skills, whether you're an astronaut, care what you say you are. All these are creative talent. So keep your PhDs or keep your doctorates or keep your, you. We are going to work in those clinics, and we are going to keep 25% to work to build the continent.
mm.
Otherwise, how do you want to see it?
I think I agree with you, Susanna, and I can't add anything more about that because what we now need to do is now do the talk. And as I said previously, you don't need to also just give money. There are people who can support in different capacity, like as I said, in kind. Somebody might be seeing that this Pan African Daily TV needs lack this and this. They can add you some more cameras. They can take part in ICT software, providing some software that can help. So we must get out from the narrative that when somebody requests for support, it's just a matter of them thinking about money. Long are those days that are gone that people are thinking about money. And if we want to also to support on money, let's also give something that can support African initiative well, something that can make impact to many people. So to people who are listening there, please, the same way you support those foreign organizations, support Africa the same way you do. Because I believe if Africa gets such support, trust me, if such Pan African TV can get such support, you can imagine how many people will be impacted through what the organization is doing. And when you see the Pan African Daily TV, don't see it as Dr. Susan, see it as an Africa thing. The problem with Africa is that we see organization as individual, and that is where we get it wrong. If something is good, let's support it. You can support with as low as even uh, $50, even $10. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that $10 is going to make an impact in a little village in Dar es Salaam, in a little village in Dakar, Senegal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
I would have to take a short break. I give you time to drink some water. Like I said, we had also some series of Congo San news on the Pan African Daily today. And those of you that were still, I don't know whether you were taking your lunch or dinner or supper or or resting somewhere, already has been breaking that there are a lot of gossips that we're gonna do here to what some people call conspiracy theories. We call it Congo San in our village, to say that. But we know that there's no Congo story without there's no smoke without a fire. Something must be burning somewhere. So I first of all
That's
started by saying, yes, we're going to listen to some break-ins that have been going around, and we see some gossips parading the social media space, and most of them are sweet gossips this time around. It's not really only the gossips that, okay, they killed here, or this. Number one gossip is, I mean, I hear say, that's how gossip starts. I hear say, I hear they say, I hear that, 53 countries voted for sanctions on Ethiopia. 53 Western countries voted for sanctions on Ethiopia. Right. So that's the part of the gossip. But the sweet part of the gossip is the African Union vetoed against that sanction for the first time, as others are saying, as the gossips are going around. For the first time, we are seeing, hearing news, positive news. Amos, your camera is out. I don't know, your camera is blurred. But I hope all of you can still see me. You hear me. You hear me. Amos' camera is out. So, like, yes, we I don't know. We hear that the African Union actually said, no way, this time around, it's not gonna happen. So they voted against. But you just sit and say, like, 53 countries. What are 53 countries? So please, I want you to verify that information and give me a feedback if this Congosan news that we're hearing here is true. If what I hear say is true, right? I mean, but just think about it. Just even thinking about it to say, that's a unity in a negative format. Imagine if we were unified in a positive format, like 53 countries voting sanctions. Probably it's just three big ones, and then every other person is a network that just say, you know what, I don't even care what is happening. I don't even know what is happening in Ethiopia, but because you just say we're going, I go. So that is the spirit that we need to get. We, on our own side, don't, like Amos, you were saying, oh no, don't come because you want to support Susan or F1. No, support me, F1. Like, that's the first thing. Why should we even not think by supporting individuals before even supporting organizations? It's still a wrong narrative. If you want to support, just support. Don't even think. I give it. Like we say, whatever you do with it, I just knew I did it. I did it for the benefit of the people. Now, if we look at this gossip and this I hear say thing that is coming, that okay, 53 are voting sanctions against Ethiopia. And now the powerhouse, the power engine of the continent for the first time. That's what they say. That's what I hear say the Congosan news said is now suddenly, we know how the house has been functioning, how we've been putting fire under there. And I think one of the things is a hand clap to you, because this noise that we say, this collective, organized protest in terms of communication and passing on information that you leaders, if you're listening to us, no, we want African solutions to Africa by Africans. No, please wake up. No, we don't like this. And now you see the feedbacks are coming. If that is true, that African Union is actually voting and say you need our support, you're going to get all that support, because it always has to be a fair deal, sitting on the table and talking together. So now you're manning up, you're coming up to say, yes, the sleeping lions are actually waking up. So that's the first Kongosa that I want to give to us tonight, which I say is a pion, it's a good one, right? Come on, let them wake up and stand actually for the integrity, like for the voice of their people. Whether it's not only in the case of Ethiopia, because that's also one thing that I start now and say, what about Southern Cameroons? This has been burning long. Why particularly one country? Is it because the African Union headquarters is in Addis Ababa and you're afraid that if anything would happen, they will kick your ass out? No, we have to be fair. Go into all these agendas. You're already doing fine, bring up to the outsiders, but also start focusing inside, right? We're going to stand on your backs, on your necks. Now they're your children hanging on your necks. And we're not going to leave that anytime soon until all of us are doing something that is fitting and benefiting to the young people on our continent. So the second gossip, this one I don't even think is a gossip. Amos, you definitely have heard it. Now we just saw some circulations on December 12th and before that Ghana has sent out a official press release signed by the head of state of Ghana saying any traveler from that 12 p.m., 12 noon into Ghana airport has to be fully vaccinated before you get access into Ghana, or if you are not in possession of that, there is a possibility at the Ghana airport where you can get your vaccines. And now, in the small clause of it, and they said other conditions also are pertaining to that. But that sector was so small, and that's why Africans brought it up and say, oh, wait a minute. So it still also implied that when you have your PCR test that is durable, I think the duration is 72 hours, so you could have access. But the most arguments were really on this contradiction of like, why Ghana right now? Ghana has been one that has been advocating to not against the vaccines or pandemic, but that to say they could create their own solutions, like you were saying. If Cuba can and others, why not us? So, but suddenly then it becomes like, so Africans are like confused, like what is going on? And then we hear in this Congosa, like I said, in these gossips that, oh, I don't know, like they say conspiracy theories that the president has bought with so much money. And that's why now he's just for it. We also hear other African countries that might have taken monies. If that is the fact, if that's the gossip that we're sharing here, if it is true, I am throwing out this perspective. Please do your research, come back to us. Let's see what is going to happen. Is it going to work like that? And you're going to just wait and make some noise. And when they seal your mouth, and then you just sit quiet and be the hand clapper. When are you going to rise up and keep your words with action? That is the questions that Africans in the community on social media have been frowning, have been yearning and say, Ghana of all, you, you. But then there are also other perspectives that are saying, yo, you know why? Yes, it could happen. Why? Because look at the whole year of return was, initiated by Ghana. And you see many of our brothers in the diaspora are relocating to Ghana. Could this be a systematic way of actually, trying to put a lock in the investments or Africans that are returning home? These are all Congosa. Like I say, I hear stories that are going out there. If you know anything, anything, but like this official letter was actually is circulating, and I even have a copy of it signed. If that's the signature of the president, I don't know. Don't ask me a lot on that. So another gossip, Amos, I will get back to you very shortly. Another gossip is the gossip of that there've been insurgency, and there've been the young people in Burkina Faso, Mali have been rising against the French occupation troops that have been there. I think for the past 9 months or something like that. Or 9 years, 9 years, 9 months. So, but the Congosa is so sweet in the fact that, we saw some jubilations, like they are actually packing to leave, because that campaign was pack and leave our country, just pack and go. It's that you don't belong here. And so this rioting, and it's seeming to come to pass that, there's feedback that, yeah, the troops are actually leaving. And so Africans are like, yeah, why not? I mean, so it just only maybe mean to man up, get some courage, do the right thing and stand for it. And this way, young people that we saw block roads and with the French military out there, whatever they were beefing out there, but now we got the whole thing leaked out, and now we're sharing it. Good. What is the last gossip before I get back to you and we round up the conversation here with Amos tonight? But there's still a lot of things that we're going to be touching on, right? The other conversation or the other gossip is not actually a gossip. It's a video that one of our brothers in the diaspora, I think is the anchor brother for the African Diaspora News Channel. Our incredible king out there. He came out on TikTok and made a very interesting and impressive video, a short video. And I would like us to watch this video because he said something about the UK banning, some African, I think, I don't know how many, a lot of African countries from traveling. And then the reaction that Nigeria actually took, like the big brother of the continent, right? Remember, we also have been chewing Nigeria very badly. And this brother actually reported that Nigeria fired back and say, you know what? Oh, okay. So that's the way it's going to go. So we are also banning travelers up to that. Is that true? Let us watch. But I think our brother will not do such a thing without actually getting the accurate thing. So let's just watch this a little bit. I know you've been saying it, you've been watching it, but as a collective, or those of you that might have not have had the chance to watch it, listen to what this brother said.
So y'all check this out. So the UK originally banned 11, countries out of the continent of Africa. So Nigeria on Monday said, "Okay, no problem. You ban us, we're gonna ban you. We banning Britain, we banning Canada, we banning a few others, right? You ain't coming in here either." Well, guess what happened on Tuesday? On Tuesday, Britain like, "Oh well, since the variant is already here, and banning, people not gonna slow the spread of that, we're gonna go ahead and remove the ban." Well, it's quite interesting when Nigeria said we banning you, it's just like you banning us, as to reciprocate, right? You quickly drop yours. See, Africa needs to understand, stop allowing these people to bully you. They're not bad as you think they are. The only reason that they do that to you because you don't fight back. Fight back and you'll see how things will change.
Beautiful. Fight back and you will see how things will change. You see, our brother was just like on point saying, do not think that they're better. They're just doing these things because you're not fighting enough. Rise up and fight back, and you are going to see a tremendous change. You see, he said it, so you were smart enough to ban us. No, 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 no. So we're gonna man up. So that is what, when I entered here, Amos, when you see all these vibrations, I mean, we've cried for 400 years and more. And for the first time, you young people are talking, the leaders are reacting, and even the community now are starting up to say, you know what? Hey, there has to be some justice out here. What is going on? How do you see this period? Are you loving it?
There is one saying, my good sister Susanna, that in Swahili that says that lisemwalo lipo, meaning when you hear such gossips, there is a high probability that there is truth in them. So gossip is how can I bring it? Is a picture, is a mirror of what is likely to happen. So whatever is happening in Ethiopia, I can say it is true. My personal opinion. I've not said for anybody. Because if you see the war and the pharmaceutical business, and now the technology business, that is the war of the 21st century. We have left those ones of guns and all those. Now it's about technology, it's about our health. And that's why you see there is a problem in Ethiopia. And the problem in Ethiopia is caused by we ourselves, Africans. Because people are feeling bad for what is happening, but which action are they taking? Look at our heads of states. They're distancing themselves from what is happening in Ethiopia. If they were really supporting Ethiopia, they could have said, we will not accept. Because, Susanna, me and you know very well the little history of what has been going on in Ethiopia. And it is in the public domain. When you start doing good and people are seeing that you're doing good, then they create war for you. And that is what is happening there. Because they don't want Ethiopia to grow. They don't want Ethiopia to thrive. So my call on the Ethiopian issue is that we as Africans not just heads of state. As young Africans, we must condemn what is happening in Ethiopia, and we must stand strong with Ethiopia. The danger we have in Africa is that when a country is coming up strong, people start getting external advisors. And these external advisors are the ones who mess up our country. Look at Rwanda. Rwanda is good, but how many people are criticizing President Paul Kagame? So many. I mean, you cannot be a perfect leader. That one I can say. He cannot be that good, 100%. But let's acknowledge that Kagame has done it. But how many people are fighting him? Even our fellow Africans are being bought by the whites to fight him. So that is the danger we have in Africa. We must speak about these things, and I'm not afraid to say this. It is very sad that a country like Ethiopia, which has the potential to feed so many African countries, is going down for the sake of external forces, and we are quiet as heads of states. It doesn't make sense. So we must come up and support Ethiopia whatsoever. Let's not pretend that we don't know what is happening. In terms of the pharmaceutical industry, in my country, Kenya, now they have come with strategies that you will not get any public service if you are not vaccinated. You know, I mean, Dr. Susan, these are things that it should never happen like that. You and me know very well that those are against moral values of our society. You cannot force people to have something. And yet you want to just benefit from what is coming out of it. And this COVID thing is everywhere in African countries. And now governments and Ministry of Health are really struggling very hard to bring vaccines. But tell them that why don't we start our own vaccine in our own country? You will hear what they are telling you. The Madagascar started it. What happened? They killed it even before people noticed. So the problem we have in Africa is that we are too much greedy. That's what I said previously. We want too much from outside. And they don't know that when we get too much, they also expect too much from us. Look at the Chinese. They are now overtaking everywhere in the entire continent. I'm not speaking bad about the Chinese. I like the Chinese because they are teaching Africans how Africans should be. The day Africans will learn from these people, trust me, my sister, that is the day we are going to rise. But provided that we pick their peanuts and they go with our whole family, like now what is happening in the constructions of railway and buildings that are going on in Kenya, the Chinese are the people who are having the bigger share. They give you loan and then you will pay that loan with a very heavy interest. So let us think. Chinua Achebe once said that somebody who doesn't have brain is nothing. So let us think and see where do we want to take this continent to. Let us not accept cheap help. I'm not saying getting foreign aid is bad, but let us evaluate what support are we getting from the Western. If it is bad support, let's leave it. You cannot finance me to go and kill my brothers and sisters in Sudan. You cannot finance me to go and kill my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in Central African Republic. That's all I can say.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's your generation. To be honest with you, you people have to stand up. We can only do what we're doing. Like I said, you need to be so aggressive and hungry about this continent that that there's nothing that is enough to just talk it out. There must be something that The young people have to prove it. And that's why I'll be launching this campaign. And I really want to see, we have to prove it that we are ready to really build Africa. And there's one thing that we're saying, we in the diaspora, we're not going to come back like neo-colonials who just go and invest and get the profit out of it and move. No, we have to build. We have, look at the street. No, the whole continent is black. They call us black because we're black. No light, no infrastructure, no this, no job, and stuff like that. We have to create them. We have to leave this notion of I'm looking for a job to get the notion of I'm creating a job. That's the slogan. We're not looking for any job. We're creating one. We're working for Africa. Okay. Amos, I saw something that is very interesting. I would like us to share it with your honor with the community that is watching. Oh my goodness, it's so cold here. It's one of the reasons I don't know how on earth we resist this. Should go. Africa Youth Award winner 2021, founder Amos Onyango, and stated on it, in recognition of your positive contribution to the growth and development of the African youth and the continent at large. What was this award all about that you were the #1 youth of the African continent in 2021? What was this all about?
Thank you very much, Susanna. The award was very competitive because they were trying to look for young people who are doing something that are very impactful to the society, for young people who are talented in different fields. So they did their due diligence. Some of them visited us in our shop, in our foundation, and they saw what we are doing, impacting life, and they were amazed. And they say this one cannot go unrecognized. And I was very happy because I was among the 100, and the list was very long. It even cut across great talented people like Sadio Mane of Egypt, of Senegal, people like Mohamed Salah of Egypt, and so many. Bobby Wine was there. We have Boniface Mwangi of Kenya. So it was a word that is genuine, that really speaks out. Dr. Charles Sinkala of South Africa, and those are people, I think you know them and you have seen what they are doing in this continent.
Correct.
So
they're big numbers,
so
yes.
I must say that the award was worth it. It was really, they did their research very well. And I think even the Pan-African Daily TV was mentioned. I don't know if you have an idea. It was mentioned as one of the best.
I don't have any idea. They pick it and run with it. Someone called me the other day. I was like, "Oh, Pan-African Daily, we watch you in this." So it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's really an encouragement for us who are doing their little to make the society better, to continue to do better. And I believe that there are so many icons outside there. You don't need to be awarded to be called an icon. Just do the right thing. Once you do the right thing, the society will reward you. And always my satisfaction is that I do the right thing, and the result of the right thing helps somebody. So the event was held virtually because of the COVID-19. But next year it is going to be held, I think, in Nigeria.
They've already voted the Pan-African Daily TV to be there live to moderate the event. Wow. Yes. I still have to talk to Cheryl and to Alexi and all of you that are in the group here. We're going to Nigeria to moderate these things. You see now, as the wall is opening, they're going to be calling the Pan-African Daily worldwide to come and moderate young people and Pan-African issues. That's very good. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think also it's also good they also identify me to help in terms of being part of just the board, to recognize those who are doing good, which they still don't know. So I hope next year we'll be able to touch those villages that are unrecognized in Africa. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Amos, I want us to talk about your book. I mean, you talked about the three books that you wrote. Where can we get it? And then number two, of course, the Africa We Want Global. We want to take everything from scratch, even the curriculum or the educations, and we would like to use some of your books when we're doing the webinars and the trainings in terms of building these young people. But if any person says, "I just want to read Amos' book," it's inspiring, I want to get it in my library. Remember, we already talked about starting a bookshop, a book conversation on very prominent authors. Professor James Small is the leader of that, and Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and all the other elders. But of course, because of the COVID, and most of them have been going through health challenges and stuff, that project kind of like. But don't you see that we can already start it? Must we wait for the elders to start something like that? We wanted to start a book club conversation on the Pan African Daily.
I think starting a book club, let me start with the last point. Starting a book club will be the best thing, the best decision we'll make for young people. And I'm ready to support with whatever I can. And I'm ready to avail my books online for you. They can get them online and even hard copies. The reason why also young authors feel that they are not being appreciated in terms of their writings is that most people reproduce those books. But what I can tell them is that when you share information is power. You don't know who is going to read it, whether online or offline. So we should not feel insecure of sharing the knowledge that we have put down. So I'm really willing, Dr. Susan Tata, to be part of that. And I may be part of it if I'm called upon to support in whichever way. And the books are available currently in 3 countries now only. That is in Nigeria, in South Africa, and in Kenya. But the books are also available on Amazon. They can get them on Amazon. For those who can't get them on Amazon, you can reach out to me and I can send the book to you. Or you can go to my website, which is www.amosonyango.com, and you'll be able to purchase the book at my website, at my personal website. So
3w.amosonyango.com. You all heard that. I mean, just as his
yes,
names
yes, yes,
are,
yes,
and you
yes.
put it together, so you're gonna get that. That's very important. That's very encouraging, Amos. And we congratulate you. And yes, of course, why not? We're gonna put that book club, and a lot is coming up in terms of talent and challenge and creativity. Every African is given by a gift from the ancestors, and we have to assess this gift through different challenge and activities and conversations on the Pan African Daily TV. Yes. Um, what else? What else should we be knowing? What else do you want to tell us before we close today? We're
So
going to
just
close a little bit earlier.
yeah, just on the book, I just wanted to know I am a lover of books.
Yes.
We must begin to promote the culture of reading. You know, the problem we have in Africa is one. People are looking for information everywhere, and we younger generation, some of us don't want to read. So I challenge young people, come out and read. You don't need to read a full book, the entire book. Just read even some chapters that matters. That is reading. The next day you also read something else. You don't need to finish an entire book. You may choose on what you want to read. The problem we have, why we have poor culture of reading in Africa, is that somebody wants to feel that he has read the entire book is when he has gotten something. You can read journals, you can read articles online. You can read so many things. So you don't need to have those books. Those who say that, oh, I don't have money to buy books, but they have money to party and to club and to buy some whiskey somewhere. So you can spend that money to buy. You can put your budget of every month. You can say every month I can sacrifice my 1 bottle of whiskey and buy 1 book every month. And that book you buy every month, not that you have to read it the entire of the book, just read even a chapter every month. And you will see the kind of people we love in this continent. So that is one. Number two, I want to just say to the young people who are listening outside there, this is your time. This is your time to come out. The road to revolution is not easy, as Thomas Sankara once said. You must act with some sort of madness. If you don't prove to be mad in a way, then you will not lead people to the right way. Do things in a mad way which come up with a good results. And don't give up, because the success of Africa is almost. It may not happen in our generation, but I believe we are headed somewhere. And Africa is growing. You can see there is hope in Africa, Dr. Susan. There is a lot of hope. The fact that we are able to talk here and millions of people are able to listen to this conversation, that shows you that there is hope, which we don't want to acknowledge. So let's use what we have to get what we don't have. Thank
Correct.
you. Mm.
Let's use what we have to get what we don't have. And what about even just writing your own books? We are challenging in the book club of Africans to come up with publication papers on particular topics that are very important to us. Chinese on the continent. Stories. Tell us, what do you think they come to do? How do they operate? Where do they operate? In what sectors? You know, these are things that we say when we come back to our inner self. Just watch your environment and look at who is doing what. Right? So the book club is going to be a series of reading, you know, books from, but also writing and putting a challenge and context for young people to just research, to look around them. What is it that they can write about? What is it that they see? How do they interpret this information that they see? Okay. So there's a lot Africans, we need to wake up, not just wake up to talk, but just wake up and look around you and begin to see things differently. So Amos, we thank you so much for spending this wonderful time with us. And I want to conclude by giving the feedback of the crowning ceremony that ought to take place today. I'm just repeating myself because if you were not on this conversation earlier, I already started with that. It's not a gossip, it's a fact. Actually, what happened yesterday was the ceremony did not officially take place. And like I said, there were still some. I need to pass a test. I need to pass an ancestral test to it. And it takes 3 days for the queen. So she did some kind of like ask the ancestors by cowries. And you know what cowries mean? Fertility, the female energy of recreation. And then there was also another oath that I need to pass it also. It is the oath of betrayal. You know, so all these things, these are just one key points. I don't want to unveil everything. It's not in my position to say it. The queen would say it herself. And we went through some, you know, some stuff. Then later on, we ought to have come live, and then the technique would not allow us. It would not give us access to, but that ceremony would have been just now the blessings and the meditation of it after being, you know, going through the first. But one thing that really was amazing about this, and I love the fact that this is happening because it's opening up another memory chapter into our lives as indigenous Africans. How we what is the role of an oath in the African indigenous culture, particularly the royal oath? And actually that ceremony, or that the journey through which we're going, open up a lot of even my childhood memories. And I remember in the village, even if a goat was stolen from a neighbor, they're going to the palace to do a royal oath, to take a royal oath. And to be honest with you, that is when you know that our spirituality is connected to the Most High. Anything that you say on that oath happens. You don't need a witness. There's not going to be a witness like in the modern court where, I killed somebody, I find a lawyer and pay. And that's how serious our indigenous cultures were. Okay, you do something or you are accused of a situation in the village, for instance, there's this idea of always witchcraft. And because our technology was not advanced, like we say, oh, why do you just see somebody and you say this grandmother or this grandfather is a witch, and then they will take you to the palace in front of the whole community, right? Truly speaking, nobody is going to come to say, oh, you didn't do this or you do it. What happened is they went, and you would take an oath between the creator and the whole people. If they give you 7 days, it's going to happen. The results would come out. So this process of us really going back into these things, our traditional circles, how did we respect what we call today the principles of Ma'at? The principles of Ma'at is not a piece of paper where we're going through and reading. The principles of Ma'at that talks about justice and truth. You had to stand in front of mankind, in front of the royals. They are the mediator, and you swear that oath. So imagine, Amos, we're talking about corruption. We're talking about a lot of things on the continent. Imagine if we did not really just give up on our own traditions and would even stand these corrupt people that corrupt and just steal money and say, you go and swear at the royal oath. Do you know how much? I mean, we're going to lose a lot of people, to be honest with you. If you talk about greed and that. But
actually, we might lose the entire continent.
Yeah, lose the entire continent. But to be honest with you, we threw that away. Why? Why did we, for God's sake, throw that away? Because that's the problem. You understand? And so through that process, I saw what Her Majesty was doing. I saw the kind of things that she really was bringing it, pebbles and conjuring and the cowries. And you could see this. You read the cowries if you're a royal, you see it. She asks a question and they throw it. But when it came to the fact that okay, the technique could not really respond to that, and then I said in my inner self, I didn't say it as like we're not ready. The ancestors are telling us, the God even of our forefathers, the Creator is telling us we're not ready. We are not yet there. Why should we take crowns? What have we done to take crowns? You're saying it. Young people unemployed, the continent being abused, or wars here and that, and we want to wear crowns for what? That's just what I said in my mind. Amos, what do you think?
I think our culture nurtured us, our traditional culture really nurtured us to the way that we lived with ethics and values. But we are losing it because our Africanness is fading away and we are adopting the Western type of culture, which is good, which is not good to us. So we must come out strongly and appreciate our culture. Nowadays, you see, and Susanna, you can agree with me. If you see any of our African brothers and sisters trying to go back to the tradition, some people take them as people who are backwards. When you see African children trying to learn their local language, their mother tongue, their traditional language, you will see they are being critiqued with other people that why are you teaching your kid such language? He or she needs to speak in English or Kiswahili or a foreign language, which is German, France. The day we will appreciate our languages, the day we will appreciate our culture, that is the day Africa will arise. And the traditional culture, there was no Christianity or Muslim or Hindu. It was unity, togetherness. That was the religion. We didn't have all these churches which are being funded by different people across Africa. Nowadays, everybody is fighting to open a church. I'm sorry to say so. Because they want to bring money to their churches. Very few churches are genuine in the entire Africa continent. So we must reflect, to the people who are listening, we must reflect, where do you want Africa to be? Yes.
Absolute. We must reflect. I want to, hey, Lingola. Lingola is saying, I'm eating my dinner now. I uses salt, no, spices, salt, onion, pepper, chilies, oil. Good luck to everyone reading this. Hey, Lingola, tell us. I mean, what kind of concoction that you say salt? You just put water and put salt, pepper, and you're eating. And what? How do you call it? Type it to us here. Tell us what you're eating. And any other person that is eating or drinking. Sometimes here, when we're in the family, people take, you see me, I used to sip my water, but sometimes it's not really just only water. You have to really find out if it's only water that I'm drinking. No, but most of the time, 99.99% I drink water and tea, sometimes ginger teas, and mixed with citron. Remember when we used to do those concoctions? So I also like to know when we're discussing like this, type it in the chat, like Ligola is saying, I'm eating. Oh, sorry, I would have invited you. But that's how we share. And even before Amos joined us on the show, he already also had dinner and he was telling us the thing, what he called chalice again, or what, so sometimes when we come here, we must not really only hold some kind of conversations that will break our backs. Let's just sit and say, okay, today I'm eating this is how it tastes. If you want to send a pic of it, because that's how we share our spirituality, our connectivity. It, like we say, when we eat, our spirits eat along with us. You're just telling me that you're eating and my mouth is running already. That's how crazy it is. I'm just like, and you see, sometimes King Maponga, he's coming, he takes his fufu and he'll be eating it. Why not? We saw the other day, Brother Rutendo celebrating my birthday in his bathtub, bathing. I like, oh, no, I didn't want to miss this, but I just said, that is us. Why must we be different, Amos? Must we be different?
The problem we have, Susanna, it's interesting. We take too much things personal. This life is very short. You should enjoy, relax, smile. We live once, so it's good to at least one day. Some people are very gloomy. From morning to evening, their face is very stony. You cannot even smile back to them.
Honestly.
It's quite bad. So sometimes also such platforms are good for us just to come and relax. Some people are from work and they're so tired and they just need to get that thing that can make them smile. So it's never that too personal.
Yeah,
Life
that's
has dynamics, yeah. So we must fit all these, in our daily routine.
Janet Yemutai is saying, Nyatiwa Nango. Nyatiwa Nyango. Amos. What does that mean in Swahili?
She's saying that?
She's saying Nyatiwa Nango. Nango.
Nyatiwa Nango.
Ah, Natiwa
I think
Nyango.
that is the way she meant it. And Jemutai is another, from how I can read her name, she comes from Kalenjin and she's able to write good Luo. I'm from Luo. So I'm very grateful that she's learning our language. Quite interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all the young brains of the PLO Lumumba Foundation watching Amos here, and they've actually been always on the move with Amos when he was a mentor also on that foundation, and that foundation is where our heartbeat is. Prof is doing tremendously too much, even though things are slowing down because of the COVID, but all of us, our eyes are on it, and young people are getting their mentorship, they're reorganizing everything again. And so yes, of course, when he is ready, we also would have him back on the show again. Yeah. I hear you. So tell us anything that you want us to know, you guys out there. You already heard Emma say we should not be too serious. Even when we come here, sometimes it's not really gonna be I like the word that you say, we use some stony face.
Some people are working as if they are going to die the next day. Quite interesting, eh? So if you are going to die in the next few minutes, smile. Eh? The danger of smiling is that people will not know whether you are annoyed or you are happy. So they will always have prejudgment, which is not correct, which is good for yourself. Eh?
I think it's healing. It's
Yeah,
healing, Amos. We're saying that we're at the process of going towards our healing. And I think we need to laugh a lot. Honestly, we need to laugh a lot. Even there's some things that are really just not funny. When we're serious, we're serious. But when we gather on almost a weekend like this with a young person that is aspiring, we should not talk only about the wars. We shouldn't talk only about, the things that don't work for us. What about the simple daily things that work for us? Like Ligola said, I'm just eating here and listening and enjoying this stuff here. And he gave us the concoction of what he's eating. And you can imagine the type of dishes that we have. If we will have to start listing, I don't know, Johnny Boy, what did you eat today, Johnny Boy? What did you eat, Sherry? What did you eat? King of Kampala said, Malaika Janet, what did you eat? For me today, I had, wait a minute, what did I eat? Um, Hey, okay, I add mashed potatoes. I add mashed potatoes with vegetables. That's what I add. But I prepared it yesterday because sometimes, Amos, do you have this feeling the food after that you eat, particularly, I mean, I cook fresh, everything is fresh. And so I used to remember my grandmother, the food that sleeps and you eat the next day. Oh my God. You know it with palm oil.
it's quite delicious. But me, I like tea so much. When they come to Kenya, I'll get them tea bags, each
Yes.
of them. Yeah.
Like what kind of tea from Kenya? Oh, I know that Kenya, you have everything, the robust
This
tea and
is
all that.
from Kericho, where Jemutai is coming from. I hope so.
Where Jamaica is coming from? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And
So
Kampala
I,
is saying I had a truckload of jackfruit that he ate a lot of jackfruits today. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. I think we're running, and yes. Cheryl is saying, Johnny Boy, if you're jobless, loveless, whatever, the less is a pledge for you today. Yes, we have to pledge. We have to pledge. We have to support the Pan African Daily TV, the initiatives that are coming here, and you trust where this is going to. Like we said, we have a commitment. I have a commitment. We have to give Grace Econ, a sanitary pad for her girls. That we have to do it. That has to be our own, from this family to her. It doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter how much we can stretch out. We also talking. I talked to my boys and I said, talk to your friends. I talked to the boys. I said, talk to your friends. If you have to give up a lot this Christmas or this period that you guys are just buying some junk here, make sure you put at least a $50, 100, or 20, or 10, because we're sending it to the girls. They're just a lot of them. And most of these projects are going to come up, but we're expanding in other dimensions as well. So it means officially we're going live on the Africa We Want Global, and on the Africa We Want Global page you're going to get all the other platforms where we're connecting. We have the Pan African Daily TV website official, then we have the Pan African Daily News, right, official, then we have the conferencing app, which is all responsive. Unfortunately, Apple is not willing to give it. I think they want us to remove the function of send money, because they know that now that we put air transfer and money into it, our brothers in the diaspora would be supporting their people on the continent through that function, which is what they only want the market to keep for themselves. And we find this really malicious because everything is set on that application. The conferencing app is exactly, they don't even have the functions that other competitors in the market like Zoom or whatever they use. No. But nevertheless, we keep going through this. Rectify this, we rectify and rectify this. But the good news is, even if you are on Apple, you just go to www.conferencing.com. You can already, begin to use your 1 month free trial, and then immediately it expires. Please make sure you subscribe. In a weekly basis, you can have $7. These are projects that we really created for our development, and a monthly package and an annual package. These are the three directly on the conferencing platform. But with us on the Africa We Want Global platform, members will have to subscribe with $1, a $1 or a monthly or an annual membership to help us to start putting these structures that we're talking about for young people, recruiting. We have to recruit a lot of talent, train them, and operate correspondence all over the continent on with the Pan-African Daily TV in the diaspora and all the continent. The young people have to get jobs by creating stories for us, run the TV 24/7. We have to start getting adverts, promotions, exposures. You want to advertise on our social media platforms that are the biggest black on black businesses. Come on. So all these things, we put all these structures for a year now. Even though we were working together, we picked up everything, getting the motivation, putting on this platform. Now they are ripe. Like we say, we've been cooking. The food is ready to be served. So if you need exposure, promotion with your initiatives and everything, this organization, the Africa We Want Global is an umbrella organization for all our initiatives so that we can start seeing where the talent and the confidence is. But I also want to thank, a brother and two sisters on the continent that actually send their CV, and they are IT specialists. One is a PhD, those I call PhD, and one is an IT specialist, had been a former teacher at a university in Botswana. And then the other lady is a medical doctor. Do you want to believe this? Wow. And all of them are just saying, Dr. Susan, we heard that you said that you're looking for people to build and contribute. I am ready. And they long CV. And this is just what we're looking for. All the talents, whether you are a musician, you are a content creator, you're a news editor, you're a videographer, you're a designer, every talent. The moment we go live tomorrow, you can enter. You would see that. You don't need to apply for anything. Just send your application and say, I'm willing to support. So when we gather all those talents, then we have to do the trainings, right? Because not every talented person has the vision of a One Africa. It. Not all of us are conscious. So you can be very, very good. Like I said, you have a PhD, but you are totally not Afro-conscious. So we have to do Pan-Africanism trainings from A to Z. How do we love ourselves again? How do we heal? Because before we start reporting these stories, we have to be here in our minds. Our minds have to be straight and focused. So we need your support. We need your support there. We need your support when we go live tomorrow. We share the website with you. Is w.theafricawewantglobal.org. Beautiful page. Everything is nice. Now we have even this IT specialist says, oh no, we're going to reproduce it again, we're going to design everything. So all these platforms that AfroWorld, the TV is there, conferencing is there. We have a couple of platforms. All we do is just build platforms. We're only building platforms so that young people can get jobs on it, create the news, report the news. If we have too much money, can you imagine, Cheryl? We're going to have too much money. Then we now buy our farms and young people can invest in agriculture and stuff like that. So there's just too much work to do. We're just sitting here and be talking about some regulations and some COVID. Young people are hungry. Amos, you're hungry to work.
I'm just seeing people. I was just enjoying reading the comments.
Do you hear what Janet said? Dr. Susan, please consider talking about intermarriage too. We're going to handle that topic, Janet. Intermarriage is one of what we call it love and family program. If you go on the africaoneglobal.org, you're going to see that. You'll see the logos of the projects that we're representing. And intermarriage is the biggest of it. We've already said it a couple of times. If Kofi was here, Johnny Boy is here, Cheryl is here, everyone is saying that's the project we should start. Intermarriage. Okay, so get ready. And you're looking for a king. Amos, are you married?
I'm dating.
Oh, all right. You're dating. You're 27.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Good to know. I mean, you'll be telling us, El Hadi Ibrahim, you're saying absolutely. Are you married and you're looking for a wife? Please, you guys have to be so open because there are a lot. There are a lot that is already waiting since yesterday. Okay. And when we will launch this program, make sure you start putting it, and your stuff together, because we're going to be celebrating a lot of intermarriage, our diasporans and the continental marriage. And you know what? We're not only putting you together, we're counseling, we're educating, you know, we're the mothers, the men, we're grooming you to build that Black love families and have beautiful, cute, you know, princes and kings. So there's a lot that we're going to do on that project of love and family. Okay. Yep. So I think we have 1 minute to go. Please, Amos, give us one last, just chill our heart.
So I just want to say thank you for all those who have tuned in.
No. Wait, Amos. Amos, wait, one thing. Where do we get your brands?
Oh, we have a page. We have Lawi Africa Instagram page, Lawi Africa Facebook page, and we are now coming up with the website, which is underway, but they can still check on it. Is www.lawiafric.com. www.lawiafric.com. Apart from that, they can also check us on YouTube. We are coming up strongly there also. We are just young, but we are doing great things in our younger age. So you're also welcome to support. They are welcome to support. You might not need to support with money. You can support with the machines, the tailoring machines, because now we have young people and some women also coming in. And like next year, we'll have about 45 students, but we only have 20 machines. So they cannot be able to fit in that room. So Africans of goodwill are welcome to support if interested.
All right, good. Beautiful. We're also going to be putting this kind of initiatives like business plan, where when we do our conferencing webinars, you know, we connect buyers and sellers, wholesalers, and whatever, everything we're going to manage.
And I want to tell young people that they should share this upcoming platform, because this is what is going to rescue the young people across the continent.
Yes.
Because it is diverse. It has all. I can say it is a mall in itself. A mall of
it's a
wisdom.
mall.
Yeah.
Yes. The African one is a mall. Yes.
When you feel you want to marry in Kenya, you can just contact us. We give you beautiful ladies.
Exactly. Are you talking? I'm telling you that we're going on this. We are going with this one on the love and intermarriage thing. That's the first key.
So it's an interesting platform. I think those who will miss it out will miss something good. So if you have not registered, please take your time to go through it, and you get to learn what it is.
Thank you very much, Amos. Thank you very much. I mean, we'll be calling you also. Make sure you're going to register like, you know, all foundations, all corporations. You just have to put, immediately you sign in, you fill out the form, you're going to get your ID. You're going to get your ID. Okay.
Of course, I'm always number one
and
in
stuff
this
like that.
story.
Yeah. Good. So thank everyone. I want to thank Cheryl. Sherry, thank you so much. Imagine if all of us would just give a $1, a $2 every evening here, all of us that are watching. How many of us are watching? Even if you give in your in your currency, Janet, make sure you M-Pesa is doing money transactions now, you know, to Kenya. So Kenyan shillings are welcome. Any kind of support. So thank you guys, thank you family. It's been a wonderful time spending these 2 interesting hours with you people. I see Johnny Boy said he ate, what did he say? I ate rice, light soup with smoked fish. Yeah, rice, light soup. What is light soup, Johnny Boy? Is it peanut sauce, tomato inside, light soup? Is they call it? All right. Anyway, enjoy it. Anything, anyone that has been eating anything out there, you see, we just talk about food and I'm getting warm. My mouth is watering. And enjoy your meal, eat together, share it with one another in spirit. And when you eat anything, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. We're together in the spirit. So we are going to wait. Try to donate, but keep rejecting. Paul Brown said he tries to donate, but it keeps. Don't worry. Tomorrow we're sharing that homepage, and you people, you can just sign up for a monthly subscription, and that will be very easy. You have the PayPal, you have the direct international bank code where you can just do the transfer. Here, you have the 30% off. Most of the time, it's rejecting. That's what we've noticed in the past. So it's not a problem. The Africa we want global, you would just get things very easy. So thank you for every support, for being here. Tomorrow is coming live. I told you about the brother from Caribbean, and who taught the country, the continent, with his two sons, his two boys. Amazing story. They went to everywhere. They went to Egypt, Morocco. They went everywhere. They rode camels. They went through the rivers. They swam. They caught fishes. I mean, I cannot wait for our brother Tonio Peye, who actually just went on an adventure. And can you just imagine? We said Pan African Daily TV is going to the continent, and all of us would go from country to country reporting stories, enjoying the Africa that we have, that we don't even know, that we keep talking about every day. Can you imagine? So that's the reason why these projects have to go, for the young people, and when we go, it's going to be a one step for us to be at home, one country after the other, neighborhood by neighborhood. We're really going to enjoy that Africa that we've been talking about. Okay. So yes, we see us tomorrow with this brother. It's a nice show. Thanks to all of you. Where's my technician to close the studio? I'm waiting for the technician to close the studio. And one thing somebody said, oh, thank you, Anxious Man. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for your support. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It keeps coming. Yeah, we need it. By the end of 31st, we should be able to get something here, to set a basis. We're going to give part to Grace. We're also going to keep some in our coffers so that we can, begin to support these projects. Thank you so much. Come every evening and just budget your stuff. We're going to give you that wireless. And when you send 10, we're going to get $10. You send $1, we're going to get $1. Okay. So thank you. Now we're going to play our song. The Pan-African Daily TV song is getting so celebrity. I see when we finish the show and somebody's like, oh, I love this music. Come on, enjoy it. Okay. Good night. We see us tomorrow. Bye. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.